All right, now I gotta go live here. What's up, guys? All right, did that work? That did. All right, we are live. It is Market Monday on a Wednesday. I had something going on, so I could not do it on Monday, but I thought it'd be better to do it on Wednesday just because that's when the market really matures and finalizes, and it's quite frankly easier to talk about rather than just try to do it, on Tuesday when stuff can shift. And honestly, a ton of stuff would move, and it wouldn't really be helpful given where it was and where betting stories. But this marks the 2-year mark of when that, probably saying that wrong, BAVAS, read the house rules on DraftKings and saw an opportunity to hit him where it really hurt. If you remember correctly, he was the guy that built the parlay around Wyndham to win, and then he had parlayed everyone in the top 5, top 10, top 20, and he did it 3 or 4 times. I have here, yeah. So he did Wyndham Clark to win, and then added everyone sitting inside the top 5, top 10, top 20 after the third round. For the first one was a payout for 4.5. The next one was a payout for 300. The next one after that was a payout for 2.4, and he basically just did different variations of it. And I was doing research on it today because I was like, was this an actual good angle shot, or did he just know he was going to get crushed, right when by the house rules as soon as it happened, and that if it was actually going to be able to go through. And according to what he saw, the house rules had nothing in place about the final shot clause that they put in. I guess after he did this is something that DraftKings was like, we need to put this in here. But according to him, it was after 36 holes were played. So he was technically abiding by their house rules. Anyways, he angle shot it, and I think they're still in the lawsuit. So who knows where this is going to go. He might not win the $14 million that he got, but just a good reminder to always be looking for an angle, always look for an edge, regardless of outcome. Take your shot. Unless you're taking a shot on a sweepstakes book or or offshore, because then you're definitely not going to get that money. So this only applies to if it's DraftKings, FanDuel, MGM, so on and so on. So, all right, let's get into it. Where the market was right, where the market was wrong last week at the WM. Where the market was right, Jake Knapp. If you remember, he had a huge move when we were talking about it on Monday at the Open, and he had it even. I guess not a bigger one, but a pretty big move on Wednesday night too. I believe he opened 55-1. I got to look at my notes from last week, and he closed around 35-1 at some shops. So yeah, big move. Market was definitely right. 9th on approach, 6th off the tee for the tournament. Probably would have won the thing if he could have bought a putt. He was 39th in, or he was, I think, bottom 10 in strokes gained putting for the final round. And then approach was awful in the final round too. He was 39th in approach on the final round. And this is kind of a theme with him. I bet Jake Knapp a lot, or not a lot. I bet him a decent amount. So I follow him pretty closely. I follow everyone closely. I don't know why I'm saying that. I just get talking on stream. But it's becoming a theme that he just sucks on approach in the final round. He does these 3/4 shots, or maybe it's not 3/4 shot. It just looks that way for a viewer because of the way he swings. But we saw them in Mexico. He was, I think, bottom half of the field in approach on that week, and he won. At the CJ Cup, same thing. I thought he had that one in the bag. That was when Taylor Pendrith took advantage of Ben Coles choking that. That was awful. It's so tough to watch, but he choked that away, and Pendrith won. And now here, I think of the CJ Cup final round, he was bottom 20 or something with approach. So yeah, pretty bad. Something to look for. I don't think it's going to necessarily impact any numbers or how you should look at them. Just know you're going to be in for a roller coaster if you have Jake Knapp, and he's heading into the final round close to the lead. Speaking of bad final rounds, where the market was wrong, Siwoo Kim. Well, I guess it was semi-wrong. I mean, he didn't win, so technically they were right. We saw a little bit of a fade in the top 5 and top 10 market, but the real fade at the end was in the outright market. So I guess technically he didn't win. They were right. But man, I mean, if he could have bought a putt, he probably would have won this thing. 63rd in strokes game putting in the final round. He was 30th on approach in the final round, so that wasn't great, obviously. But he was 57th on the week in strokes game putting. Yeah, again, he put on the ball clinic. I don't have these in my notes. I know he was top 10 in both of them, or ball striking clinic, excuse me. Top 10 in both of them. It's just like, when is it going to come together? You know, I was talking to John about it today, and it's like, yeah, he's bad for on the round numbers, but one of these weeks, if he keeps playing like this, if the putter heats up for, 1, 2, or 3 rounds, he could head into Sunday with a 3-shot, 4-shot lead, and it's not really going to matter. You just play good golf, hang on. And he's going to get back in the winner circle here soon. So anyways, all right, let's go through some numbers. I have a bunch of guys written down. I have the odds screens pulled up here. Let's see. All right. Some of these are different than what I'm going to say, just simply because I'm looking at Bet Online, which has some good numbers too. I keep saying this, but we need to add it on here. They just have if you bet golf and bet outrights, like, yeah, it sucks. It's an offshore book, but deposit, I don't know, like 10% of your bankroll in there for outrights, and you're going to get the best number, and it's going to dramatically help your ROI. Like, not even close. I mean, like, Rory, for example, was 16-1 at Bet 365. He's 16-1 at Bet Online. I'm trying to find a good number or good example for here. Of course I say that, and this is the week where, okay, Hovland. I mean, Hovland's 30-1 at Bet Online, 27-28. It just stacks up. Bottom line, if the more outs, the better. The more numbers you can go through, the better. But Scotty opened plus 250. Now he's plus 310 at Bet Online. Interesting that we're having a fade of Scotty. And even more interesting is the market, like, Scotty's fading back, right? And so are a lot of these guys who have high implied win percentage, or win probability, excuse me. So it's like, where's the move coming from? Rory opened 13-1 on Bet Online. He's now 16-1. Cantlay 35-1 on Bet Online. He's now 45-1 on Bet Online. So another fall. Vic 28-1 Bet Online. Now he's 30-1. Like, everyone is falling back. I guess it's everyone in the mid tier. To be frank, I did not bet a lot of mid tier this week. Just all the models I ran did not have anything coming out for an edge for implied win probability on the guys like 50 to 80-1. Truly. So maybe that's why I'm just oblivious to these moves. I'm sure there are a couple guys who had big moves here, but from what I was looking at, everything is it's weird. Everything seems like it's falling back, and we're getting better numbers. Thorbertson just had a ridiculous, stupid open on DraftKings. He opened 30-1. 30-1. Bet Online opened him 40-1. He's now 50-1. I think on DK, let's find him over here. DK is 36-1. Yeah, I mean, there's your Bet Online example. Like, if you like Michael Thorbertson, your ROI is unreal compared to if you're betting on Bet Online compared to DraftKings and FanDuel. I mean, just like, that's almost double, right? Not quite, but I mean, you're getting up there. It's like 36-1 to 51. It's a huge difference. Let's see. Robert McIntyre is an interesting one. He really has been steady the entire time. But why I say that's interesting, this is a good segue to kind of what I kind of wanted to do next, which is look at some of these models. This is just strictly ignore this. I already preloaded it. Oh, here, I got to share it with you guys. See, I'm new on sharing screens. All right. How do I move my screen here? Gosh, technical difficulties. All right, let me see how I do this. Stop sharing. All right, present. All right. Getting the hang of this thing now. All right, now I hope this is golf ammo. Here we go. All right, now again, like just ignore the. It's not indicative. It's just strictly. Why is this not going? Goodness. All right, there we go. Yes. So ignore win probability because it's just everything that's on POA. So it's just looking at strokes gained putting on POA for the last 16 rounds. And some interesting names, like Cody, like Pearson. I wonder where that came from. It's probably from Torrey. Heath the Gollop, same one. I'm like, I don't remember really him being a great POA pusher, but apparently he has good numbers in the last couple rounds played on POA. There aren't that many POA courses too, so it's either like Pebble Beach, Torrey Pines. So interesting. I don't remember him really having a huge week coming from. I guess go look it up. You can look it up too and see which one where he had good rounds at those courses. Adam Schenk, Matt McCarty, no real surprise there from Matt McCarty. Gerard isn't a surprise either because he had a good showing at Torrey. Yeah, so basically these are all the guys who have been putting well on POA for the last, I guess, 4 tournaments now. Denny McCarthy, Russell Henley. Yeah, some names you expect and then some others you wouldn't. Bridgman obviously is a great putter of the golf ball. Patrick Rogers, I just think always plays well at Torrey Pines. I think that's why we're seeing that pop up there. But yeah, so, and I guess getting back to like the whole players and like market thing is it's kind of an interesting week for one and dones. Because this is really where the season begins. Like I think I've noticed the appetite for one and dones like when I've gotten on Twitter and just because I've been more engaging rather than in the past where it's, on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok, it's more of like you just post your stuff and if someone wants to DM, they DM you, but it's really not a huge engaging environment. Whereas X is totally different. You get feedback and people messaging you for stuff all the time. And I get so many messages about one and done. It's insane. Like I never thought that, like I didn't think it was this, I knew it was popular. I didn't think it was this popular. So that's why I'm trying to make a conscious point to like talk about this, talk about it every week on stream, and then also talk about it in the mega thread I do. But basically this stretch is going to determine if you cash or not, point blank, period. These like next 2 months. So you go here, Pebble, then you have Riviera, Players, Bay Hill, 4 tournaments, huge. If you don't have at least, I don't know, 2 top 10s in there, you pretty much have no shot. We've cashed the last 3 years, and we've gotten lucky because we've won the Players. We do 2 entries, and we've won the Players every single year. So it's like that alone gets us into position to where it's like, okay, now you just have to get top 10, top 15. But it's like if you finish top 10 at every signature event, I'd be hard pressed to say I haven't ran the numbers. If you finished top 10 in every SIG event and top 10 in every major, I'd be willing to bet you're min cashing at the very least, you're min cashing there. So these are where you burn your guys. And it's like the planning out has to start. I mean, it should have started at the beginning of the season, but if you haven't done that, like it has to happen now. You need to pretty much know who you're going to take at the Players. You need to know who you're going to take at the majors, Memorial, St. Jude's, etc. All those ones down the line that aren't staring you in the face like right now. Pretty much every year we take Rory at Bay Hill just because, I don't know. Is Quail Hollow on a SIG event this year or not? We took him. No, I don't think it is. No. So yeah, so Bay Hill, Rory's awesome at Bay Hill. Probably going to take Scotty at the Players in one of them just because he's playing out of his mind and the Players is the highest purse. Yeah, so just like that type of thinking. Like tonight, if you haven't already submitted it, basically map out, say, okay, and it could be tentatively, but just know like if you're going to burn someone this week at Pebble Beach, make sure you are without a doubt not playing a guy who has a great course history, or isn't in form right now. Basically, you don't want to burn a guy just because it's the first SIG event who there's going to be a better spot for him down the road. So yeah, that's my soapbox on one and dones, but it's awesome. I love it, honestly, and it's awesome that it's picked up so much steam as of, recently in the golf community. All right, let me see if I can like change this screen. Oh, I need the. How do I do this? Let me without having to like exit out completely. Oh, I got it. No, I don't. All right, let me try. I'll just have to do this. Remove it, and I got to add to a stage. So I'll just go through one other model, which golly. All right, how do I stop? I'm gonna stop screen. Stop sharing. Okay, so that's gone. All right. Now present. Sorry, you guys can tell this is only my third run through. Share screen. Perfect. All right, let's hope I picked the right model. What's that one? Come on. All right. All right, here we go. Aye, aye, aye. All right, here we go. Add the stage. Oh my gosh. All right, well, I guess I can't figure it out. It's, or maybe it's my screen that's like not showing. It's just like I need to upgrade my StreamYard subscription or something. It's driving me nuts. Or maybe just be done with it. All right, see, why can't it's like doing the waving thing? I'm looking at what you guys are looking at now. All right. I might be done here if I can't figure it out, boys. I'm sorry. All right, there you go. I'm full screen. Why can't I? It's driving me nuts. All right, I'm sorry. I can't figure it out. I was hoping I could share one of these scoring models with you and basically just go through the one of the markets. Let's see. What is this? Let's see what this is. Oh, you know what? All right, I got it. Here we go. Bang. Okay. All right, so this is just a simple model. Just takes tee to green, par 3, birdie or better, par 4, birdie or better, par 5, birdie or better, and birdie or better percentage. Essentially, why I'm doing this is because I want to talk about the weather and the markets that's happening with this weather. So obviously, Pebble Beach is getting dumped on right now. I'm sure if you're paying attention to golf betting at all, you've seen this all around Twitter, Instagram, whatever it might be. Golf Channel if you want like a sicko. But yeah, it's gonna be soft and there's gonna be scores to be had. So I wanted to build something that basically said like, okay, these are the guys who've been scoring. This is last 24 rounds, or last 12 rounds rather. These are the guys who are converting on their chances as well as having a high birdie or better percentage on every hole. So basically, this is what you got. This is what everyone who's a pro member has. This. It's in the betting picks. It's just a nice reference point, just to be like, okay, these are the guys who score. Because I don't really like to look at like filters when it comes to conditions or easy conditions because I'm such a course fit purist, I guess, that the problem with a lot of those filters is you don't know where the sample size is coming from, right? So like soft conditions at an Open Championship is much different from soft conditions at TPC Deer Run in the middle of the summer. Same thing can be said for soft conditions at Torrey Pines compared to soft conditions at PGA National. I think it's more indicative of like looking at course history and course fit is more indicative than getting in and more predictive rather than getting these round samples from places where you don't know these rounds were played. A course is very different, and that's going to skew it. If you play well the course or a player plays well the course, that is a predictive course history, like one that's in the top 10. Then because it's soft conditions, that's going to boost his quote unquote sample for whatever you're looking at. And thing can be said if he plays at a course that he sucks at all the time, and it's X conditions that you're filtering. It's like, well, yeah, I mean, it's because he doesn't, that player sucks at that course, or it doesn't fit him well, and anything. Anyways, that's that. I lean on that aspect of thinking. I don't think all those softness and wind filters, I think, are just noise. I don't think it's really going to help you be predictive of how a player is going to play. So that's why the bigger the sample size, the better, in my opinion. For scoring, I shrink it because recent form. But again, that's another thing where it's like that data can even be skewed, because if someone is playing at, say they started at Sony Amex, and then they skipped Torrey Pines, and then went to the WM. Well, if you skip Torrey Pines, Torrey Pines is a really hard course, so your scoring number is going to be down. So you just have to do your research as well. That's why this stuff, it's helpful to figure out a profile and a player that you should at least look into, but it's not going to just straight up be the from. So yeah, I guess we'll go through a pick here. I'm going to do this so I don't lose the plot and lose the screen. All right, here's what the prop market has for round one. So I talked about it in the thread. I don't like putting edges out on that thread because, like, I don't want to just have the masses see an edge. Like, I'd rather have a personal relationship if I'm going to tell you how to attack something. Well, now it says 0 viewers, so I guess it effectively ended. Anyways, I was going to talk about a Prize Picks edge and draft by draft edge, but I guess StreamYard had other ideas. Thanks for listening, guys. If you're on Instagram, thanks for listening. If you're on X, sorry it crashed out so hard. But good luck to everyone. Hopefully the weather on Sunday doesn't force us to a Monday finish. Should be a great first event here for signature events. But thanks for everyone for popping on, and I will see you guys next week.